Hello there my friends, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review. And guys, I've literally only just finished watching this week's episode. Everybody had sushi, I'm dying for sushi, so before this goes up I'm going to run out and get myself some sushi and then I'll be back. And yes, that's right, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on Brandon, the walking talking epitome of the word meh. He strikes again, and his brand new wife Julia. Just before I start, thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. But if you've yet to do so, please consider subscribing. Come on over, join the fun. And also please don't forget to press the like button if you enjoyed the video. It does really help with my analytics. Right, we've got a lot to get through, so without further ado, I give you Brandon and Julia. So Brandon and Julia have a day out at the pool, and Julia lets us know yet again that she loves Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, Julia is on a 5-day holiday, and on day 1 of that 5-day holiday, she decreed that she wanted to live in Las Vegas. For always and forever! Oh Lord! How many times have we been on holiday and decided on day 1 or even day 2 that we want to live there? We love it! Every time I go somewhere that's warm and sunny and picturesque, I decide I want to live there. It takes me but a day to start looking at property prices. Next step, my remortgage calculator. And then I hit my dad or my brothers up to find out if they want to go halves on a holiday property. They don't, and they've heard it all before. But very predictably, by the end of the 2 weeks, I just can't wait to get home. And 2 weeks back in London town, I've virtually forgotten I ever went to the place, never mind wanted to live there. Julia, my love, slow your roll, slow your roll. And the newlywed couple are lying in bathers on sun loungers, and a waitress, very skimpily dressed, saunters over to find out if they want cocktails. And Brandon orders 2 cocktails with the waitress. And when the waitress goes away, Julia said, Brandon, where were you looking? And Brandon said, I was looking at you. Brandon, no you weren't. You were looking right at the waitress's boobs. But the truth be told, so was the E-Bird. She had quite the rack. But Julia's just not happy. And she looked at Brandon and said, do you think I need tits? And Brandon said, no. And Julia said, right. Well, it seems that you were looking at her. We'll talk about this later. Anything Yara does, I can do better. How very interesting. So Julia, suddenly you want big tits, do you? The E-Bird's got a bit of advice for you. Just go to the gym. Don't be so lazy. Get in the gym and work those tits up. No, I won't ever let you live that down. But then Julia lets us into a big secret. She's very jealous, you know. She's an extremely jealous girl. Oh, Julia, my love. Anyone with a pair of eyes that used that pair of eyes to look at the tell-all knows this. We know it very well. And she tells us she wants Brandon all for her. Don't worry, Julia. I don't think you've got any realistic competition. I suppose unless, of course, you count Betty. And then Julia decides she's going to do an impromptu model shoot in the pool. And she's there giving all her best Insta poses. Tits out, bum out, little finger mouth. Splashing up and down in the water, frolicking around with a big gleeful laugh. Why, Julia wants to make everybody in Russia jealous. But right in the middle of the photo shoot, Betty calls. And Julia says, Brandon, just don't answer. Ignore her, call her back later. But Brandon decides to take the call and is like, hey, how are you? He's really happy to speak to his mum. And Julia grumbled from the pool, why doesn't she just leave us alone? But for once the ramblings of Betty are of quite a bit of use, because Betty lets Julia and Brandon know that Julia's got the date for her green card interview. And Betty said, yay, it's the next stage of your journey, Julia. And the truth be told, Betty seems quite psyched. And Betty scans the letter over so Brandon and Julia can see. But Brandon's worried. Brandon tells production, I can't believe that this has come round so quickly. If Julia has this interview and she says one wrong thing, Julia's going to be sent back to Russia and that's the end of us. Really, Brandon? So if Julia, your one and only true love, isn't allowed to stay in America, you wouldn't consider going to Russia with her or living somewhere else on this big planet of ours with your beloved? I'm beginning to wonder how deep Brandon's love really is. Hopefully deeper than his pockets. But Julia's manifestly excited. She says if I get my green card, I can live with Brandon, I can move to a big city, I can get a job, and I can buy a house, and I can have the American life that I dreamed of. And next time we see this couple, they're going out to a restaurant. And yet again Julia talks ad nauseum about moving to Las Vegas. And Brandon said, it's not my dream to move to a big city at all. And Julia said, Brandon, you liar. When I was talking to you online before I arrived in America, you said you'd move to a big city. You said, fine, okay. And he said, yeah, I said fine, okay, but it's not what I want. Oh dear, Julia, Petersburg it is. Population, 31,000. And as they're looking at the menu, Julia realises there's sushi. Oh my god, I love sushi. Oh my god, I love this place. Oh my god, I love this spoon. Oh my god, I love Las Vegas. Julia loves everything about the big city, and Brandon's starting to feel the pressure. And so Brandon said in the end, well, I'll tell you what, we'll move to Richmond. I need to go to somewhere that's quite near to my job, and then we'll take the next step after that. And Julia said, okay, I compromise with you, we'll move to Richmond. Julia, as much as I want to back you up and I like your fire and your spirit, just saying, let's move to Las Vegas on literally no money whatsoever was never a very realistic prospect. But then Julia said, well, I want to look for a job soon. If I get my green card, we can start our life. And Brandon said, well, what sort of job are you looking for? And she said, you know what? I really want to be a wedding designer. And guys, oh my god, I couldn't believe what happened next. Brandon said, do you think with your standard of English, you could get a job like that? Oh my god, Brandon. But guys, it gets worse. Then he continued, if you try and design someone's wedding, you could destroy their one special day. And at this point, I would like to continue with the narrative, but I have to pause just to remind everybody that Brandon's the person that said, I don't care about weddings. I'll get married in jeans. I don't care what the place looks like. I don't care what I'll wear. Brandon, if you don't care about weddings, why would this spring to mind? It seems to me like you just want to be a little negative Nancy. That's what it seems to me. Anyway, Julia continues, why you say this, Brandon? Why do you say I'm going to destroy somebody's wedding? Why not say, wow, you're going to make their special day amazing. It's going to be an amazing wedding. And Brandon said, well, this is the way that I see it. If a job description says fluent in English, do you think that you're fluent in English? Brandon, she's not going to be applying for jobs that say fluent in English. That's one. 2, you can go freelance when you're a wedding designer. So as long as you say to somebody, I'll design your wedding for $1,000 or I'll design your wedding really cheaply and you do an amazing job. From then on in, people look at your work and they look at your portfolio and your pictures. And they want you. It doesn't matter if you don't speak perfect English. And incidentally, I think Julia's English, considering she's only just got into the country, is absolutely excellent. Fair enough, her word order isn't great, but she knows all of the words. She sometimes just gets them in the wrong order. How do we rectify that? Well, we don't stick her in the middle of Dimwiddle with Ron, Betty and a couple of pigs for conversation. You put her in a city, you get her a job, and before you know it, she'll be speaking very fluent English. And guys, please weigh in, let me know what you think. Do you think her English is decent? I really do think it's good. But unsurprisingly, Julia's extremely upset, even though she's previously tested positive for being a fibber and a moaning biatch. I'm with her on this one, I really am. And she said, you're so negative. And Brandon is negative. I don't understand his thought process, I really don't. Julia passed her degree in set design. She went to university and she studied it for 3 years. Come on, Brandon, she didn't wake up one morning and just decide, I'm going to be a wedding designer. But in fact, even if she had, why not be positive? Why not say, yes, Julia, give it a go. I have every faith in you. Why try and stomp on her dreams? And it's true, Brandon is a dream killer, and if you say otherwise, you're either, well, Betty or delusional. The Venn diagram for these two things is pretty much a circle. And Brandon said, Julia, I'm just trying to be realistic. Wedding designer isn't such a fanciful and rare job that it's unrealistic. Anyone who is a creative being and has done a creative degree, I think it's probably within their grasp. As far as I'm concerned, Brandon's just a low expectation having MF. And Julia said, you need to try and boost my confidence, not try and drag me down all the time. I don't tell you, oh, you're stupid. The job that you work in, you'll be doing it for your whole life. I don't say that to you. And guys, if you could have seen the look on Brandon's face, oh my God, he did not like that one bit. But she's right. That's the equivalent of what he's saying. And Julia tells production, I need Brandon to support me. And she said, I want to have a great job, I want to have a nice car, a nice house. And she certainly does need his support. Really, Brandon, consider the alternative. Her other line of work is as a dancer. Do you want to be at work all day just to see Julia go out in the evening and be up until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning? No, you don't. So this whole wedding planner thing is in your best interest as well. Guys, I really do not see what the problem is. He has no idea about this industry. He's never lived anywhere. He's never lived anywhere except for on that farm, so he knows about his job and his career. He understands about farm life and country life. He knows nothing of the wedding design industry, and so until you know, why try to dream crush? And I've spoken about it before. I had my own company for 15 years, and when I used to get people that were bilingual, trilingual, multilingual, polyglots, I absolutely loved it because it simply widened the amount of people that I could do business with. So for a lot of people, the fact that she speaks Russian, English and Korean is going to be a plus point. And so Julia said to Brandon, I'm going to have a great job, I'm going to have a nice car, a nice house, and then I can leave. And Brandon said, can I come with you? I'll answer for you, Julia. No, Brandon, you can't. You can stay where you are. If you had it your way, we'd be forever on this farm. I want you to support me. And Brandon said, I do support you. Brandon, I'm not so sure you do. Mentally you don't support her, that's for a fact. But financially, do you support her? Because you make her work on the farm and she lives with your parents. So really, from what I can see thus far, you're not doing that much supporting. And Julia said, how do you support me, Brandon? Break my dreams for a second. And Brandon said, no, I just want you to be realistic. And Julia said, that's your problem. You're too realistic. And that's why you still live on the farm. And we finish up this week with Brandon talking to production. And he said, she is too much of a dreamer. And she may want to bump down her expectations just a little bit. So what does the Ebird make to all of this? Oh my God. Well, I think that Brandon is certainly a pessimist, and when Brandon was speaking to Julia, it almost came directly from Betty. You could almost hear Betty saying the same words. Be realistic. Who wants to live in a big city? Maybe you don't, Brandon, but you always knew that Julia did, and you knew that she was coming to America with the expectation you were not going to live on that farm. And the second thing that struck me is Brandon saying Julia's dreaming. And she needs to bump down her expectations. She hasn't got expectations as such. She says, I want to get a really good job. I want to be a wedding designer. She knows she's going to work really hard for it, and she wants to achieve her dreams. Her dreams, the truth be told, a fairly normal life, if I'm really honest. She wants a nice house, a nice car, a nice job, and she wants to live with you in a city. That's like about 75% of people, probably. She's not saying, I want to be a pop star. She's not saying, I want to be a Hollywood actress or an opera singer. And I'm not saying that I would dull the ambitions of those people, but she's not saying something which is going to take you maybe years of working for free. And if you hit the big time, you really do hit it and you coin it in. Or you could work for years for free, realise that you can't get into the industry, and that's it. And then you have to start again at the age of 35. I don't imagine the wedding industry is really difficult to get into, so I don't know why it's such a lofty dream in Brandon's world. I really don't. Also, I don't know if Brandon knows anything about language, but I used to, as you know, have training academies, and people that came to do courses 3 or 4 months later would have so much more fluency with their English than when they started. And guys, the first time that I saw it, somebody become very fluent in English in 2 to 3 months. I was surprised. Of course, this didn't happen for everybody, but Julia has this within her capability, I believe. And I think we all need to be cognizant that Julia isn't just sitting back, waiting for Brandon to take care of her, you know, Natalie style. Julia wants to make her dreams for her life happen herself. Brandon, you should be so pleased. Lots of people expect handouts. So I can't knock Julia for this thought process. So guys, I'd love to hear what you think. I've got to tell you, my heart started beating irregularly, and I haven't even got a dog in this fight when I heard what Brandon said. Do you think that Brandon's unnecessarily negative? Or do you agree with him and think Julia's nothing but a dreamer? Please let me know in comments down below, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, make Ebird a very happy Ebird. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Ebird Online. Thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Ebird Online, and I bid you good day.